Hello friends, I am Dr. Veena Patel and you are watching my channel English Literature Gujlish class. Today I will teach you about the Elizabethan Age. Please subscribe my channel and like it. Dear students, in this video we will see these 5 points. The main topic is the Elizabethan Age, or you may say the Renaissance. Its period is 1558 to 1625. Remember this period, okay? 1558 to 1625 is the period which is known as the Elizabethan Age, okay? In which we will consider 5 topics. First of all, we will see literary background, characteristics and impact of the Renaissance on Elizabethan literature. Second, Renaissance poetry, Elizabethan lyrics and sonnets. Thirdly, we will see Renaissance poetry with Elizabethan narrative poetry. We will compare these two kinds of poetry, okay? Fourth point is Elizabethan drama, the university wits and their contribution. And fifth point is Elizabethan prose and Elizabethan essay. You may be asked in your examination, briefly summarize the characteristics of the Elizabethan literature. Or you also may be asked, in other words, bring out the impact of Renaissance on the Elizabethan literature. So keep quiet and pay attention towards my lecture so that you can understand it very well. Alright. In England, the 16th century and the first quarter of the 17th century saw the rise, growth and decline of Renaissance. The whole movement may be classified into different stages. The impact of Renaissance was felt from the beginning of the 16th century till 1550. Therefore, it is sometimes called the period of preparation. Okay. Then, for about 25 years, it was the time of experiment in various fields of poetry, prose and drama. As a result, during the last quarter of the century, there was great flowering of English literature. Then, the spirit of enthusiasm and adventure declined during the first quarter of the 17th century. Yet, England saw still something great and everlasting in English literature. First, we try to understand why does it known as the Elizabethan or Shakespearean age. The period between 1558 to 1625 is sometimes called the Elizabethan period in English literature because during the reign of Queen Elizabeth, England felt peace, prosperity, pride, patriotism and poetic inspiration to great extent, which gave great force to the production of great English literature. Remember these 5 points that people felt during the rule of Queen Elizabeth. Okay. Sometimes the age is also called the age of Shakespeare because he proved himself by his writings one of the greatest poets and dramatists of world. The period was marked by fullness of national life, a passion for knowledge, a spirit of adventure, and an ambition to achieve great things. This gaiety, this enthusiasm, this spirit of pride and passion, this high imagination gave rise to the first romantic literature in England. Let's understand the term Renaissance. The term Renaissance is rendered into English as revival of learning. In its broadest sense, the term Renaissance denotes the gradual enlightenment of the human mind after the darkness of the Middle Ages. It has its birth in Italy and gradually spread to Germany, France, and England. In England, during this period, such great writers like Marlowe, Sidney, Spencer, and Shakespeare produced some of the greatest English literature. During the Elizabethan Age, there was the revival of classical learning. The study of the classical writers became a passion with the people of this age. The intelligent youth turned to Greek philosophy and poetry, Latin literature, as well as modern Italian and French literatures. The rediscovery and reinterpretation of these, I mean to say rediscovery or reinterpretation in classical literature, okay. So I continue. The rediscovery and reinterpretation of these literatures gave birth to a new culture of humanism. The humanists began to take interest in life and in mankind. People began to make life larger and happier. For the first time after the Dark Middle Ages, the people felt enthusiasm to live life fully. The Renaissance heralded the birth of a new age in England. It colored the thoughts and ideas of the Elizabethans. They made efforts to free themselves from the rigid institution of the Middle Ages like the Roman Church and feudalism. They tried to assert themselves in accordance with a more flexible secular code. The defeat of the Spanish Armada in 1588 brought about the revival of patriotic feelings among the people. The national spirits gave rise to self-confidence and pride. The safety at sea brought prosperity in commerce and social contentment. The people became greatly interested in the past of England, and this gave rise to the wonderful integrity of national feeling. This pride, this enthusiasm, this nationalism, this stability were all reflected in English literature of the age. The age witnessed translations of several important classical works of art from Greek, Latin, and Italian into English. The short stories of Boccaccio and Cinthio did much for the development of the English prose and novel. The Greek tragedies of Sophocles, Euripides, and Aeschylus inspired the English dramatists to write tragedies on Greek lines. The Senecan tragedy influenced the English theatre in production of revenge tragedy. The comedies of Aristophanes, Plautus, and Terence helped much the development of English comedy. Yott and Surrey became the pioneers of the new poetry in England. They brought with them the new spirit of Renaissance from Italy and represented it into total miscellany, which is recognized as one of the landmarks of English literature. They introduced the fashion of sonnet writing and blank verse poetry in England. The dramas of the university wits are full of the Renaissance spirit in the plays of Marlowe. We notice very fine expression of the entire age with all its new aspirations, hopes, and adventures. Besides the borrowing from abroad, the authors of this age shown a spirit of independence and creativeness. Shakespeare borrowed freely, but by the magic touch of his creative imagination, he transformed the ordinary into gold. The drama reached the splendid height of perfection in the hands of Shakespeare and Ben Jonson. Spenser introduced the Spenserian stanza, and poetry enjoyed the full flowering as in spring season. Songs, lyrics, and sonnets were produced in plenty, and England became a nest of singing birds. In brief, the Elizabethan Age is the first and greatest romantic period as the writers worked in search of the remote, the wonderful, and the beautiful. It brought about an unprecedented progress in almost all the branches of English literature. So, guys, we have seen the characteristics of Elizabethan literature in general, or we may say the impact of Renaissance on the Elizabethan literature. You will have to see my another video as part 2 on Elizabethan Age. Okay, so please subscribe my channel, like and share. Thank you.